Most camper vans are designed by people who've never actually lived in one for more than a weekend. Today, I'm showing you a 2026 layout concept that rethinks everything from shower placement to storage access. By the end of this, you'll see why the most important feature isn't what you think it is, and it's going to make a lot of traditional builders uncomfortable. If you've spent any real time in a camper van, you know the problems. You can't access your storage without dismantling your bed. Your kitchen counter becomes a pile of dirty dishes because there's nowhere else to put them. The bathroom door swings into the only walkway, and somehow, after spending $60,000, you're still living like you're camping in a tent. This layout exists because someone finally asked, what if we stopped copying the same floor plan from 1987? From the outside, this looks like a standard extended wheelbase van, matte white, minimal branding. But there's one detail that gives it away. The rear doors are split asymmetrically. One side is wider than the other. That's not a design choice for aesthetics. It's the first clue that everything inside has been repositioned. I'll come back to why that matters in a second. Step inside, and the bed is exactly where you'd expect it. Rear of the van, east-west orientation, full queen size. But here's the difference. The entire bed platform lifts on hydraulic struts, and underneath is a garage space tall enough for 2 bikes standing upright. You're not choosing between gear and comfort anymore. Most vans make you pull out drawers or move cushions just to grab a jacket. This one gives you a 4-foot-tall cargo hold that you access in 3 seconds, but the sleeping area is only half the story. The real fight in van layouts happens in the kitchen. The galley runs along the passenger side, which is standard, but instead of a permanent countertop, this one slides. Push it forward, and you get a 30-inch prep area. Pull it back, and it tucks into a recessed channel, opening up the entire walkway. The sink sits on a removable cutting board. When you're not cooking, it's flat storage. The 2-burner induction stove is magnetic, so you can move it outside if you want. And the fridge is a drawer-style unit under the counter, so you're not bending over every time you need water. Most people won't care about this next part, but if you've ever tried working from a van, you will. There's a fold-down desk opposite the kitchen. It's mounted to the wall on a piano hinge and supported by 2 telescoping legs. When it's down, you've got a 24-inch deep workspace with a built-in cable management track and a USB-C power strip. When it's up, it disappears. No bolted table blocking your floor. No cushions you have to rearrange. This is what flexibility actually looks like. And yes, you can work here while someone else is cooking because the aisle stays clear. Now here's where it gets weird. The bathroom is in the front, right behind the driver's seat. Most people put it in the back corner, which makes sense until you realize you're walking through your entire living space in the middle of the night. This layout puts the wet bath within 6 feet of the bed. It's a 30-inch square, cassette toilet, removable shower head, vinyl curtain, nothing fancy. But it's positioned so the door opens toward the front cab, not into the main living area. That means you're never blocking the walkway. And the gray water tank sits directly below it, so plumbing runs are short and simple. Some of you are already thinking about storage. Let me show you why this matters. Overhead cabinets run the full length of both sides, but instead of front opening doors, they use roller shutter panels. You pull them down like a garage door, and they stay open at any height. No head clearance issues, no doors swinging into your face. And because the bed platform lifts, you're not sacrificing any low storage. There are also 2 pull-out pantries flanking the rear door. Narrow, deep, perfect for canned goods and dry storage. Everything is accessible without moving furniture. But here's the part that's going to start an argument. This van has no fixed seating area, no dinette, no couch. The only place to sit is the driver and passenger seat, or on the bed, and I think that's the right call. Most van lifers don't sit around a table for hours. They're outside, or they're working at a desk, or they're lying in bed. The dinette is a relic from RV culture that takes up a third of your floor space and gets used twice a week. I'd rather have the room to move. Some people will disagree with this, and honestly, they should. Let me know what you think. But if you're actually living full-time, ask yourself how often you really use that bench seat. Now let's talk about what this actually costs. A build like this isn't going to be cheap. You're looking at somewhere between $70,000 and $90,000 depending on the base van and how much you DIY. That's not including solar or lithium batteries. The hydraulic bed lift alone is a couple thousand. The sliding countertop system is custom fabrication. And if you want that roller shutter cabinet system, you're either importing it from Europe or building it yourself. This isn't a budget build, but it's also not trying to be. The question isn't whether it's expensive. The question is whether it solves the problems that cheaper layouts ignore. There's one more thing that most people won't notice until they've lived off-grid for a month. The freshwater tank in this van is split into 2 separate 20-gallon containers. One under the kitchen, one under the bed. That sounds like a weird design choice until you realize what it does. If one tank runs dry, you still have water pressure in the other system. You can dedicate one to drinking water and one to gray water recycling. And if you need to do a repair, you're not draining your entire water supply. It's a small decision that has a massive impact on long-term reliability. Most builders use one big 40-gallon tank because it's simpler. But simpler doesn't always mean better when you're 3 days from the nearest water source. If you know someone who's about to drop 50 grand on a Sprinter conversion, send them this video. Not because this layout is perfect, but because it'll make them ask the right questions before they commit. Most people build their vans based on what looks good in photos, not what works when you're actually living in it. The difference between a good layout and a bad one isn't how it looks when it's clean. It's how it functions when you've been on the road for 3 weeks, you haven't done laundry, and you need to find a specific tool in under 10 seconds. That's the test, and most vans fail it. Here's the takeaway. The best camper van layout isn't the one with the most features. It's the one that gets out of your way. This 2026 concept proves that you don't need more space. You need smarter space. Fixed furniture is the enemy of flexibility. And if your layout forces you to choose between storage, workspace, and comfort, it's designed wrong. Next time, I'm breaking down a truck camper concept that takes this same philosophy even further. Completely modular, no permanent walls, just open space and magnetic mounting systems. Would you actually live in a van with no dinette? Comment below. I want to know if I'm completely wrong about this.